Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.
Welcome to all.
History is made of stories.
In this episode, we'll be talking numbers. In particular, we'll be focusing on the three fields of statistics that are most commonly encountered in business and how to use them.
The huge amounts of data we now have combined with the power and scope of computer-based calculation, and the importance society attributes to data itself, has recently placed the science of statistics in the limelight.
As Alphonse Allais joked, statistics has shown that soldier mortality increases significantly in wartime.
It's important not to apply statistics to everything, and even more important not to use them carelessly. Numbers don't make us smarter. That said, analyzing them can of course help us to make smart decisions.
So, what are the three key fields of application for statistics in business? What's the story?
In 1956, in the Journal of the Parisian Society of Statistics, Joachim Torrens Ibern wrote that statistics is a collection of methods that aim to gather, process, and interpret observed data on a group of individuals or units.
Statistics is a vast field, so let's focus on the aspects business professionals are most likely to encounter: descriptive statistics, inferential statistics, and predictive modeling.
Let's start with descriptive statistics. The goal is simple and clear from the name. It aims to describe what you observe. It comes to life via representations of observed data as well as numerical summaries and aggregate data.
In HR, one example would be an age pyramid which visually represents the number of employees by age category. Another would be an average salary, which is aggregate statistic.
This first aspect may seem simple, but looks can be deceiving. The goal is to simplify the complexity of what you observe without distorting reality.
Right, and that's a precarious mission since bias is everywhere. And because how you choose to represent the statistics, with infographics, tables, or what have you, influences interpretation.
Exactly. Even the nomenclature chosen has an impact. To classify data, you have to make a more or less arbitrary choice, and its impact is never neutral.
The second field is inferential statistics. Here the goal is to use statistics to find an explanation for what you see.
And for the most part, it involves cross-referencing different series of data to try to uncover a hidden logic, relationship, or model, and then to explore what it might mean.
Some inferential methods are well known, like factor analysis, which aims to reduce multiple aspects of a topic to a more manageable number while minimizing data loss.
And then there's regression, which connects an unexplained variable, your salary for example, to explanatory data like the amount of responsibility involved in your job, your number of years at the company, and so on.
But this correlation isn't necessarily proof of a cause and effect relationship. It's just a probability which you have to analyze to see if it makes sense by testing the variables used.
In other words, inferential statistics provides an interpretive model which must be examined with a critical eye before reaching any conclusions about cause and effect.
Last but not least, the third field is predictive modeling. This time, the goal is, as the name indicates, to try to predict the future. In other words, how do we come up with a forecast using the information we currently have?
When you take a closer look, you realize that it's mostly based on an inferential model using real observed data, which you then simply extrapolate to another group of people or things or to the future.
Right, you can either use inferential models like the ones we just mentioned, and simply translate the model into an equation, or you can use models produced by artificial intelligence with networks of neurons or decision trees that grow more refined as you feed them more data.
And, even though these models are always learning and improving, no matter how powerful they are, they stumble when they face uncertainty, which is, by definition, unpredictable.
To recap, there are three major fields of business application for statistics: descriptive statistics, which aim to describe observed phenomenon; inferential statistics, which help to find an explanatory model for an observed phenomenon; predictive modeling, which extrapolates inferential models to try to predict the future. Is that right?
Exactly right. Way to make a long story short. Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.